Hello, this is Ermina, also known as Tutu. This video is entitled, and I'm hoping you can hear me clearly because everybody else is sleeping. So I am whispering a bit as I create this video, and also I literally just woke up and was guided after a brief meditation to create this video. I'm looking, by the way, down at some brief notes that I took. That's what this is all about. But anyways, this video is probably one of the most important videos of mine you're going to watch because it is an empowerment video and that I'm giving out. I'm not going to charge for this because this is something everybody needs to know how to do. If you're over the age of 3, you should have some of these basic skills. Okay, but obviously you'll know what I mean in a minute. I was going to call this video something else, and then there were some things that happened, messages I got, which was to call it how to process information wisely, or how to consume information wisely, or how to have fun and be conscious at the same time. Let me tell you what brought this on. I went to see a very popular movie, and some of you will know what I'm talking about, yesterday. Before seeing it, I told somebody I was going to go see it, and then of course I told them that I always decode my movies before I see them. First of all, I never see movies in the theater. I shouldn't say never. I rarely see movies in the theater, and I almost never see them when they come out, when everybody else is being programmed by them. I usually wait a year later after all of the energy has moved through, and then I'll go and take a look at them to see, well, what was in it, and go from there. So for me, entertainment, I know what the real meaning of entertainment are. This is what I do for a living. So part of my role is to let people know what the real underlying social conditioning aspect of entertainment is, which is really what it is. But the average person is looking at it as just fun, and it's hard for them to actually, especially when life is throwing you all this stuff, to look at things critically. But remember, nothing is given to you through your 7 seals, your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your ears, which is the 7 seals. Nothing is given to you through your 7 seals that is not part of programming, period. And you might say, but does that mean I can't enjoy myself? No, you can. You just have to know what you're being programmed with and why. Then you're going at it critically. You're going at it in a more adult way. Then you're going about it in a more mature way. There's a lot of stuff online about how to, there's a lot of anger and response. Yeah, you can have that too. That's fine. But my advice or my recommendation is get smart. Go and watch it if you want, but know what the heck you're watching. Don't just fall for things because then you fall for anything. You know what I mean? So just be wiser. I did some questions yesterday after seeing it to see where people's mindsets were, and I could clearly tell, and this is not an insult to you all, I love you all, but most of you are still very unconscious about the programming that goes on to in your day-to-day. You don't recognize the 7 seals in the Bible and other tools. They're not meant to make you walk around and be afraid. They're just telling you that these are the doorways to your mind. They are doorways to your subconscious mind. These are the portals where things go in. You know, light goes into your eyes, air goes into your nose, sound, vibration go through your skin, not just your ears, but your ears, and of course food goes in. Everything that goes into the unseen is programming what's inside of you. That's really all that is. So if you eat meat, you get programmed to become more of a meat eater behavior. If you eat vegetables, same thing. If you smell, let's say, ether or something, not ether, yeah, ether, because they used to use ether back in the day, it might knock you out. What does knocking you out does? It alters your subconscious. If you smell somebody who does gas or something, it might alter your subconscious because you might become angry. I know that's a silly example, but my point is we're altered by those seals, the nose, the eyes, the ears, the mouth. We're altered. Just remember this part. If you don't remember anything after this video, just remember you're altered by these things. And for most of us, that alteration happens subconsciously. You don't sit there and go, "Oh, I'm being altered by I'm watching this wonderful movie and I'm being altered by it. How cool is that?" No, the stuff goes into your subconscious mind because it's symbols or sigils, right? And then they get activated through your day-to-day behavior. Oh, my bracelet just came off. They get activated through your day-to-day behavior, and then you ask yourself, "I don't know why I can't have a healthy relationship. I don't know why I can't. My children won't listen to me. I don't know why." Uh, uh, I have financial problems. I don't know why. It's because we've been programmed. And by the way, I'm not sharing this because I'm beyond programming. I'm sharing this because I'm a victim. Well, not a victim. I'm in a recovery of being programmed as well. All of us. And even though I went to see this movie and and decoded it before I went to see it, it doesn't mean that I wasn't programmed to some level by it. Now, what I got to do is figure out what that is, and then deactivate the program or alter the program. I did a lot of ritual before going to see that movie. I'm sorry, I know what to do, so I did it to make sure my seals were protected. If you're Christian, you know what that means. And I'm not Christian, by the way, but you guys are really good at this stuff. You go in, you read your Bible stuff, and protect me back, step back, enemy. What is it? Get behind me, Satan. So I don't remember, but you guys have all this stuff that you say that serve as a veil or a barrier to protect you from influence. Okay, if you're in my class, Metamorphosis, you know that communication falls under the realm of the divine feminine, and what it does is influence you. It may not make you do anything, but it influences what you do. So, by the way, this is going to be a very long and broad video. I have no idea where I'm going. I wrote some notes down, but I'm here to share with you something important, so hopefully you'll just bear with me. All right, so I think I've covered how information gets into you. There's plenty of stuff about food or nutrition that's out there. There's some stuff about sound. People you hear, certain music affects you in a certain way. There's stuff about that. There's very little about scent. And maybe I'll do a video about how scent influences. And scent is the big one. It is the big one. But it's the hardest one because we have so much space. So it's the hardest one to actually implement. Although they tried to do it with like scratch and sniff stuff back in the day. Scent is the hardest one. But your eyes, easiest one to use to influence you. Let me repeat this. Your eyes are the easiest things for the external world to use to influence your subconscious mind. For those of you who know, who may not know, you're operating out of your entire, let's say 100% aspect of your consciousness, of your mind. 25 to 30% or 35, depending on the person, is your conscious mind. That's what you're aware of. I'm aware I'm sitting in the room. I'm aware there's lights in front of me. This is what I'm aware of. What I'm not aware of is the 75% that's governing my hand movements, right? So, although I can become more aware of it and learn to sit a little more still. But my hand movements, I'm not sitting there going, go this way. I'm not. My hands are just doing it, right? That's called body language. Body language is a subtle message. Subtle messaging is everywhere. The colors behind me, which one of my favorite colors is turquoise, obviously, right? I think I have quite a bit of it in this space. One of my colors, I actually have come to love almost all colors because I know what they do to you. And conscious is one of the colors you can use to help you focus. So I have it around my house to keep me focused. Okay, so just a little tip. Purple is another color you can use for transformation. Okay, my point is this. Your eyes are used throughout your environment to code or encode what goes into your subconscious mind. 75% of what you're seeing, you have no idea that it's getting encoded in you. You can't process all of it. And then obviously when you go to, let's say, and watch a TV or a movie or something like that, you're getting encoded, not just visually, but also audibly. That's why the sound, they pay hundreds and hundreds and thousands of dollars to create soundtracks that invoke, this is the magic part, listen, that evoke emotions, emotions out of you. And those emotions create chemical processes in your body that solidifies a lot of this message, and then you later enact them. And you don't know why you hate, let's say, after you see it, oh, maybe I won't give that, yeah, what the heck. Okay, this may give a little away about the movie I went to see. But you may want to ask yourself, why is it that I hate Africans? Or why is it Africans hate us? They got encoded with a particular message from something they watch. And I know that's kind of hard to swallow right now for some of you. Many of you are going to get it and you're going to go, oh, you got it. But 75% of you, because that's very similar, or 80% of you are going to be like, I don't know what she's talking about, and I really don't care. I'm going to go and have a good time. Fine. You fall under the subconscious category, and that's okay. That's where you are, and just be happy with where you are, but do not come and complain later when there's a behavior in you, or a behavior in the continent, or a behavior in your family, and you're wondering, where did that come from? It comes from your processing, your encoding. It comes from your social programming. You don't get to sleep in this freaking, you don't get to sleep anymore, people. You don't get to sleep anymore. You have to be awake. You don't get to sleep anymore. This is what the Christians call spiritual warfare. It's the subtle messages that are created throughout your environment to alter your consciousness, to alter how you respond to things. That's it. All right, so the purpose of this was not to sit there and beat you guys upside your head like some big mama, right? It's to give you some tips on how to understand that the alchemical process is natural. The same way, by the way, the woman has the most important role when it comes to encoding. That's one of the reasons why emotions are high after you see a movie or listen to music. This is what I'm going to say, take Metamorphosis if you want to know more, because in reality I can't go into all of that right now, and there's at least 14 there's at least 31 different levels of consciousness that you can achieve through specific alchemical process, which you can create yourself through food, smells, what you see in what you hear, or somebody can create in you. That's really what that is. So now that you know, you can cook a certain food and have people have a certain reaction, right? Oh, this is delicious, I feel so good. Or you can have a certain scent in your apartment and people will have a certain reaction. Oh my God, I feel so peaceful here. The same way somebody can do the same thing with your eyes, and they can do the same thing with your ears. They can do the same thing with your nose and your mouth. When you go to some form of entertainment or internment or burial or initiation, including a movie, you're allowing yourself to be programmed. That's why it's called TV programming, right? The channels. Most of you know this, right? And please don't tell me, why can't I just have fun? You can, if you know what you're being programmed with. You can then go and go, oh, this is cool, but now I know what the message is that's being shared throughout the world and how it's going to influence the dynamic of social response in the next, let's say, 10 years. And normally movies are put out to have a reaction over a decade or so or more. So they're not going to have an immediate reaction. It takes the processing, and usually it's a series of movies. So there'll be 2 or 3 or more, because first you do the first part, which does the underlying, then they add the second layer, then they add, and by the time the third layer is added, you have no idea what the heck you were programmed with if you don't do the work. Okay, so we know that these 7 seals create a chemical process in our subconscious mind, or an emotional induced programming. So I'm sorry, not induced, an emotionally crystallized programming, because you need 2 things to program yourself. And we use this, by the way, in manifestation, right? You need 2 things to program yourself. You need a desire, and then you need a emotion. And it's the emotion that really solidifies it. Well, the desire, in this case, is external. It's something coming into you. When you're doing manifestation, the desire is inside of you. right? You have your heart's desire and you raise your emotion about it. I want to help the world by becoming a conscious cook, right? That's the desire. And then the emotion is the feeling you get from all the wonderful things you're going to be doing, blah, 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 blah. And then you solidify that. And then through a period of time, you process it, you activate it, you fuel it, and then eventually, obviously, you act it out. Well, the same thing happens with something coming in. This isn't a desire that's coming into you. It's not your desire. You're not going into the movie or listening to the radio or whatever it is you're doing. You're not going in going, "Ooh, I want to be programmed with this." No, someone is giving you a program, and you're accepting it, either consciously or subconsciously. But you're accepting it whether you like it or not. Period. Okay. The 75% of your mind, which is often called spirits or demons or the enemy, is really what's getting programmed. That's where all the stuff is going into. Your conscious mind is just gonna come out and go, "Oh my God, that was so awesome! The sound was great. I love this. I love that." That's your conscious mind. Your subconscious mind gets all the other information. Okay, so what's used to program? What are the things that's used visually to program? Number one thing is color. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the number one thing is vibration. Vibration, by the way, comes in the form of color, sound, or really anything in the spectrum. So you're getting programmed through vibration. Remember this part. We're 75 or more percent water. Does that sound familiar now with the subconscious mind a little bit? We're 75% water. You all know by now you can program water. You change the vibration of water and the crystals through sound and vibration. Well, guess what? Guess what's happening to you when you're in theater? You're getting programmed. The water within your body system is getting programmed, right? I think I've beat this enough. If you don't get this in 60 minutes I've talked about, don't bother watching the rest of this video because it ain't going to help you. All right, so there are codes. These codes are chemical codes. They're also referred to as chemetic codes or hermetic codes. They fall under the realm of different laws. There's so many. There's no point in going to all of them. The key is to just recognize that they're gonna come through the various portals you have in your system, the eyes, the nose, and so on. So visually, it's gonna be colors, right? Visually, it's gonna be the colors you're seeing, or specific structures. I don't know if you can tell, I have an hourglass behind me, which is symbolic of infinity, right? Well, that's a code right there. Now, it's my code because this is my home. I like having certain things around to remind me of, this reminds me of pure consciousness, or pure potential. It also reminds me of the loop that I need to get out of a certain behavior that I have to break the glass, right? If I want to get out of a certain behavior, I got to break a glass or a veil or the see-through or the mirror, really, Oshun's mirror, right? Frida's mirror, for those of you who are familiar with Yoruba concepts and uh, Haitian concepts. So Frida is Ezili Frida. Or La Sirène always carries a mirror as well. That's the illusion. So the glass reminds me of the illusion that I have to break to get out. That's a code. My mind knows exactly what it is. My conscious mind may see, ooh, hourglass. But my subconscious mind knows what it is because these codes have been around since the dawn of time. These codes are in everything you watch. They can't not help being something you watch because the moment there's furniture, the moment there's clothing, the moment there's a hairstyle, by the way, these are made out of buffalo bones. I made them myself. Um, why did I share that? Because one of the things that came through the movie that I went to see was the presence of Hathor, or Isis as Hathor, or Dantor, or Oya. The presence was was in there, and those of you who know will, when you see it, you'll know. I won't give it away right now, but anyways, so colors are some of the things that are going to be, not some of the things, colors are going to be used. Now, you're probably saying, nah, because it looks really cute to have this color. Okay. All you got to do is go online and type color psychology, and it will prove what I'm saying. You don't have to believe anything I'm saying. Type color psychology. The other thing you can do is type meaning of colors, the various meaning of colors. Now, usually the meaning of colors that you'll find online, they don't tell you what happens when you mix colors, because when you mix colors, you get a alchemical process that happens within your body system. So when you see two colors together, you get an alchemical process. And there are some colors that immediately trigger an alchemical process in you. And those colors, I'm not allowed to share them in this video because apparently it would make my video a target. That's what my ancestors told me this morning. Don't use those colors or to say the word, but y'all can find out. It's not that hard. But there's some colors that are used that trigger an inner alchemical process immediately. By the way, these colors are found in nature. So nature is triggering a chemical process all the time in you as well. That's why when you go into the woods, you get an alchemical process. You start to breathe, you start to feel better, right? But nature's not it's not out to get you. So you can pretty much trust you go into nature, you're gonna get a good response. But somebody else can use those same or similar colors and then a messaging right after to trigger an alchemical process in you. Get it? Right? Okay. Nature isn't going to particularly try to trick you. It might. Some of you who are really damaging nature, yes, nature will trick your ass. You know who you are. Going around destroying nature, a lot of what's happening to you in response is you're getting tricked by mama. Yes, dear. Okay, so what else? So you know your eyes or processing information, right? And you know it's going to be through colors. It's going to be through shapes. Okay, and I just kind of gave you an example of one shape, obviously the triangle. And so, and by the way, all of you out there who are always freaking out about Illuminati shapes and all of that stuff, you're so behind this, I don't even know what to say. And you're so reactionary right now, it's insane. It is truly insane. First of all, if it's out in public access, which means it's on YouTube or it's someplace else, it's no longer a mystery. It's no longer a secret. The secrets and the mysteries are not being shared on mass media. What I'm sharing with you, there's plenty of videos out there you could find. Now, they word them differently, so you may not find it in the exact same way. And I'm careful about the specific words I use because I know what I'm sharing is valuable information to some people. And it's more important to get it out than for me to make, a lot of noise. So, your we call it hand mudras, you're freak out about hand shapes in the movies and all of that. Yes, that's always happening. It's been happening and it will continue to happen. Now what you want to do is be wise about what certain things mean. That's it. You cannot boycott every well, you can, but you cannot stop seeing everything. You can't walk outside without being programmed by something through shapes, whether it's the M of McDonald's or it's the I don't know. There's so many, and I really don't want to go into it. But the point is, number one, colors. Number two, shapes. Right? Obviously, the other aspects of symbols is that symbols go across a spectrum of realms. So you will have symbols that are specific to, let's say, religious stuff. Symbols that are specific, so they'll invoke a religious response or religious aspect of you that's coded from hundreds of years, thousands of years, or so on. Symbols that are legal. Symbols that are in the realm of legality and justice. Symbols that are in the realm of medicine and health. So we're talking about hundreds of realms, hundreds and thousands of symbols. I have a circle behind me. Candle, I'm sure as soon as you saw the candle, you all probably thought immediately magic and voodoo, whether you wanted to or not. Why? It's a symbol, right? And you can't help yourself because that 75% of you, the subconscious mind, activates whether you want it to activate or not. This is the other key. Whether you choose for it to be active, it's going to get triggered. The key is to understand what that trigger is, know what it is, and how to respond to it. Okay, so that's your eyes. The biggest one that's used in visuals like movies and other entertainment stuff is your ears. various vibrations, tones, just like my voice, tones, just like when I chant or when you chant or when we chant. Um, they invoke emotions. That's why when you go to you put on your favorite music, your heart is touched, and so on. Well, they're used at specific times in specific ways to evoke an emotion which creates an alchemical process. The alchemical process then codes you with whatever it is that they're trying to code you. Okay. Is there anything else I need to add? Yes. Yes, you can have fun. Yes, you can go and watch these things, but you've got to learn how to do it critically. And you have to teach your children. Do not put them in front of a TV and think the TV is going to raise them and everything's going to be okay. It's not. Okay? Do not have them read, watch stuff that's out there, and then you wonder why they're acting out. They're coded. They're programmed. Yes, you're busy. Yes, you got a lot going on. Yes, I can't protect them against everything. But what you can do is teach them how to decode themselves. Every family should know how to decode. There's a lot of stuff out there that decodes for you. My recommendation is do for yourself. You're not going to be able to access these things all the time. And also, um, that whole process of decoding is also culturally specific, right? So let's say the color turquoise might mean something completely different in China. If they see it in this video, they'll have a different reaction to it. And the cultural specificness of it is a huge aspect of how you're getting programmed. So that's why you can take the same thing across, let's say, 100 people. You may find only 20% react a certain way. Another 20% are not affected at all, and whatever. So you're going to have a spectrum and a range because it's culturally specific, and it also has to do with other things in your environment. Epigenetics. Just study epigenetics, and you'll know what I mean about that. And if you don't have time to study, the short answer to that is your environment also triggers what comes up for you, not just your genes. That's the short of it. So the key to this is, yes, you can enjoy yourself, but you as an adult, you have to apply critical thought. And when I said, early in the video, I think I said something like, as soon as you're 3 or older, you need to know how to do certain things in terms of critical thinking. Obviously not at the same level as a 30-year-old, but you really, I keep saying you, let me be careful, because you don't have to do anything you don't want to, right? You're an adult. We are, it would be wise for us, let me say it in a way that honors you as a sovereign being, okay? It would be wise for us to learn how to be critical in our thought and be mature and adult in our thoughts, so that as we are having a relationship with this external world, external environment, we're not putting ourselves in a role of victim, that we put ourselves in a role as collaborators, or people who are having a relationship, a dance with the external world, rather than being I don't like the word victim, but right now that's what's coming up for me, and it's getting kind of, this video is getting kind of long, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it out. But to become more as an independent thinker, but also to be a collaborator. So you're not walking around afraid of everything, because that's bad too. I see it all the time. You see people who are like, don't do this, don't do it. No, you don't have to walk around afraid, because guess what? There's just too many things out here to influence you that you're going to be able to lead a life. You'd have to be in a room with white walls, white everything, to not be influenced by the external world. It's going to happen. The keys as a critical thinker, as a mature adult, as a leader, community leader, parent, a teacher, to know enough so that you can pass on this knowledge to those who don't know, which is usually the children or people who are unconscious, for lack of a better word. They're not unconscious, everybody's conscious, right? Otherwise you wouldn't be walking around. But to those that are not aware of the subtle messaging that goes on it, and to program or condition them to behave and act a certain way, you can help educate them and support them. Um, I'm sensing I'm done, even though I could probably say a lot more. Um, Learn how to decode. You have to learn how to do this, people, please, and not just for yourself, but then you can share with others. After seeing this movie yesterday and getting first I decoded it and I saw it and then got the messaging that was in there, I was sad. No, I wasn't happy. I was sad. um, I'm like, here we go again. That's really what I felt. Here we go again. A whole new generation now is going to be programmed to behave a certain way toward each other. And for those of you who want to know more, contact me. I'm not going to say anything else about anything else because it's time for you guys to, um, if you want to know more, you got to take action to know more. This 31-minute video is enough to get you started if you don't know what I'm talking about. And for those of you who know what I'm talking about, there's so many online resources. You don't have to contact me. But, just learn to be a critical thinker if you don't know how to do that. Entertainment is no different than our patakis. That's what they are. The movies are Western patakis. They program you, right? They're click-clack little stories to program children. And your role is not to be a child, is to be, as an adult, your role is to consume whatever you're consuming critically, from food to what you're seeing, to what you're hearing, to what you're smelling. It doesn't mean you can't enjoy it. Depending on some of you, you might say, I don't care, and that's fine. But some of you are here to do much bigger things. Your role is much more, you're here to do a lot more. And for those of you that are here to do more, you can't keep sleeping or going back to sleep like this. You got to wake up and stay alert. All right. Wow. Thank you for watching. And if this video is useful to you or to others, feel free to share. I don't think I have anything else I need to share. I think I'm done. I feel complete. All right, family. Because if you're watching this, you're definitely part of my soul family. So have a good life if I don't connect with you in any other way. All right.